We have breaking news coming in a big expose by the French military and intelligence officials after the recent clash between India and Pakistan. China and Pakistan have been engaged in a disinformation campaign aimed at Rafale bashing with the motive of hammering the reputation and sale of the French flagship fighter jet. I'm being joined by Shiv Arud with more details. Shiv, we'd broken on NDTV earlier as well that China was using Pakistan as a live lab for testing its weapons. And now it seems insecurity has gotten the best of China. How exactly have they been running this disinformation campaign?
This is a multi-billion-dollar war that is breaking out. Now, the reality is that for China, Operation Sindoor was almost uniformly bad news, given that Pakistan uses largely Chinese-made weapons, whether it is missiles, whether it is air defense, whether it is artillery, radars, etc. The fact that India was able to completely overwhelm Pakistan militarily, paralyzing all of China's military supplies to Pakistan, including its advanced air defense systems and aircraft. This was, like I said, the report card for China was one of fail, fail, fail. And therefore, China very quickly picked up the potential damage to its potential exports of the same equipment to other countries, and therefore began this very expected disinformation campaign against the Rafale fighter jet in other countries. Its embassies abroad, according to a detailed report by the Associated Press, quoting French intelligence officials, is saying that the Chinese embassies abroad quickly got activated, picked up on half-baked news about Rafales being shot down by Chinese missiles in Operation Sindoor, and spreading word to potential customers like Indonesia and others, saying, please don't consider buying the Rafale. We've just shot them down and they're useless against Chinese missiles, which was, of course, not true at all. And we also now know that China may have been especially emotional and triggered by this entire Operation Sindoor damage, because it was Rafale fighter jets, using electronic warfare, firing scalp cruise missiles that actually wrought a huge amount of damage on Chinese weapon systems in Pakistan, practically paralyzing Pakistan's largely Chinese air defense network and forcing them to the ceasefire table on the 10th of May. So this is personal as far as China is concerned, and therefore they mounted this anti-Rafale campaign, or a toolkit as it were, via its embassies, where embassies were basically instructed to paint the Rafale as a suboptimal fighter that could not compete and was proven combat unworthy in the face of Chinese weapons, when ironically it is precisely the opposite that was true. Now remember, as far as aircraft losses are concerned, India has not denied any losses. We've had even the Chief of Defense Staff accept that there may have been losses, but China, by trying to harp on the Rafale itself, has basically demonstrated and exposed itself. They've shown that they are completely triggered by the fact that the Rafale and other Indian Air Force fighters basically exposed the actual quality of Chinese weapons and air defense systems in Pakistan, which is the reality. The pictures show themselves up, from airfield damage to terrorist infrastructure damage, to runways completely holed, to secret facilities, receiving Indian missiles. Chinese air defense and weapon systems simply failed to stop it, and that's how this is one of the way China can try to hit back. A sinister campaign to suggest that the aircraft that actually damaged all those systems didn't really prove to be combat worthy. That's China for you.
Right, Shiv, thank you for joining us and bringing us those details on this development. In fact, take a look at this report on the RAW.
In the high-stakes world of global arms sales, the battle is often fought with messages. French intelligence now says China used its embassies to quietly undermine one of France's most prized exports, the Rafale fighter jet. The controversy follows deadly air combat in May between India and Pakistan following the Pahalgam attack by Islamabad's terror proxies. It was a rare and dangerous escalation between the two nuclear neighbors. India deployed its French-made Rafales. Pakistan used Chinese-designed jets. What followed, according to French officials, was a coordinated online disinformation blitz, viral posts, fake videos, even video game clips, all painting Rafales as underperformers and promoting Chinese-made fighters instead. Indonesia has ordered 42 Rafales, but French officials say Beijing is trying to change that, warning of an orchestrated diplomatic effort to smear the jet's credibility and, by extension, France's defense industry. France is fighting back, calling it a targeted disinformation campaign meant not just to hurt arms deals, but to chip away at France's influence in Asia. So far, the French-built fighter remains a symbol of prestige and power, but in today's world, even jets are vulnerable to digital dogfights.